Hi, my name is Deidre. I'm with LuLaRoe and I'm here to give you a LuLaRoe review. I'm going to tell you a little bit about how I came into this company, how I found it, what it's done for me in my life and for those around me, my friends, my family, my community, and just give you a little bit of my story. So, as I said, my name's Deidre. I'm a mother of a 12-year-old crazy wild boy. He's gonna be 12 this year, but I am an animal lover. I have the craziest sweet tooth. I love sweets, chocolate in particular. I am a crafting queen. I love crafts and arts, as you can tell behind me. I made that. And yeah, so I mean, that's a little bit about myself. I will tell you next about just how I found this company, and I have my wonderful sisters to thank for that. They basically were the first ones to introduce me, to start adding me to groups. I had no idea what they were. I had no idea what Julia's and Irma's and all these things were that I kept seeing, you know, little snapshots and things of. But they did. They added me onto Facebook into the groups. But a little bit to reverse and go a little bit further back. It was a little bit prior into the form of finding it, but around 2012 and 2014, I started having a lot of health issues, and my health was deteriorating over time, and during those couple of years. But in the short story of it all, I was diagnosed with Crohn's disease. I have a thyroid condition, and when my body attacks my thyroid, and I also have some heart conditions. I have extra heartbeats. I have something called SBT, which is a fun and crazy wild word, supraventricular tachycardia. It's a rapid heart rate. But these are all things that were manageable. They're things that I see a specialist for. But as you can imagine, being someone in their 20s and finding this all out around in the same time, it was very hard for me. It took a toll on me and my body. And I kind of fell into depression, and I did the opposite of what someone should do in those times. I didn't take care of myself, and I put on a lot of weight. It was hard like I said, it was hard for me, and I turned to food, like some of us do. And so it was very hard for me. And I put on a lot of weight. I was hiding behind clothes and, trying to ignore the fact that I had, but it got to the point where I hated trying on anything new. I never wanted to go shopping. If I did go into the dressing room and try to find a new pair of jeans or something I needed, because obviously I needed to, and gaining weight and putting things on, I hated putting things on in the dressing room. I would leave crying, and I'm sure many of you ladies have a similar story. I know I've heard very many stories similar from ladies that I've come close to and in my group who've been through the same situations. So I was at that point in my life. We had another very hardship in my life. In the summer of 2015, I found out that I was pregnant, and I ultimately lost the baby 11, 12 weeks in. And I, as you can imagine, fell into a deeper depression. So as the rest of that year went on, it was just very hard. And you can, ladies, anyone who can relate, or just anyone in general, I'm sure you can understand where your mind and yourself goes into that kind of place. So, but if you fast forward a little bit to December 2015 was when I actually got to experience LuLaRoe firsthand. I saw my sister's Christmas leggings. They were wearing them at Christmas, and I got to feel the buttery softness, and I thought they were silly cute because they were like ugly Christmas sweater leggings. But it was shortly after then did I try on my first pair. And let me tell you, ladies, it didn't take long after my first pair of leggings. It was a perfect tee and leggings was where I found my first love. And before you knew it, I had packages coming to my door every day. And there was a point in time where I was sick for a couple days, and I was laid up in bed, and I was sitting there just ordering. And a lot of you ladies know what it's like when you have to hide the packages, from the husband, and you're like, so they don't see them. But obviously I couldn't hide my addiction because my husband eventually saw them and found out, and he presented the idea of this was his idea starting up. So, but it was in LuLaRoe that I found comfort again in putting on clothes. I found comfort in putting, excuse me, you hear my fur babies back there. I found comfort in putting on leggings and putting on dresses. The dresses took a little while to warm up to, but it did take a little bit of time. So, but in LuLaRoe, I found the ultimate security again in myself. The insecurity started to fade away because I felt beautiful and finding things that fit me right and fit me comfortably, to where I didn't need to hide behind a baggy, 2XL extra large shirt to just hide the things that I was insecure about. And it was fascinating. So when we started playing around with the idea of joining into this company, it wasn't hard to decide a reason for why. And I didn't know LuLaRoe's backstory, and they talk about you'll hear a lot of retailers talking about their whys. I didn't know that was a part of it, but little did I know that I had my major why in there, because I wanted to share the joy and the love and the feelings that I had in finding these clothes and finding myself again. It didn't, by March of 2016, I had my paperwork in, and in June of 2016, I was a retailer. So I've been doing this for almost 3 years now, and I would never look back. I've spread my word and my love and my joy of absolutely everything. I'm very open with my community, my group, and my girls. They know my story very well. I've shared it many times, so if you've seen this and heard the story before, but I continue to take that into my everyday life and make sure that I get to fulfill that dream, and making sure that women that struggle the way that I did before I found LuLaRoe can find the same thing. And it is simple. It's as simple as, putting on some clothes that make you feel beautiful. But I definitely, I mean, that's a small part of my story, because our evolves and our reasons into doing this kind of change over time. So after, before LuLaRoe, I worked in the restaurant business, and I did it since I was 16. That's a long time. Well, you don't know how old I am, so you don't know how long it was. But I had worked in the restaurant business since I was 16, and that was a very hard life. Before my son was born, it was easy to do because, working 12-hour days in the restaurant, it was okay. But then after my son was born, it was a little harder to accept because I wasn't around for his life. And I worked 12-hour days, 5-6 days a week. I missed holidays, I missed birthdays, I missed everything that was happening in life, and life was passing me by, and there's no getting those back. It's hard to be a young mother and have to experience that with my son, losing out on those times. So that was something else that it's not hard to say, and it's not hard to be completely joyous about, that LuLaRoe gave me. Was I was able to leave the restaurant business after, now I'm going to tell you my age, now you're going to find it. I was able to leave the restaurant business after 11 years, I believe it was. If I left 3 years ago, 3 months into being with LuLaRoe, 3 or 4 months, I was able to leave the restaurant business and do this full time. And that alone was so much to me. It meant everything to me, because I was then able to be a full-time mom, a full-time wife, a full-time provider of love and joy and clothes for women. So that immediately, my life changed the day I stopped working at the restaurant that I was in. That is one of the most exciting things that I can say, is I now get to be there for track meets and winter programs and assemblies and perfect attendance awards, the things that they get, and give away the small little things that they may be small, but they mean so much as they're happening in time. And my son is so proud to say, like, Mom, I'm getting an award. Can you come? And I can say yes, because there were so many times that I had to say no. You know, the muffins with moms and those little things that the school likes to do to keep us so involved. It broke my heart to say no. And I didn't have to say no. I know that's not how it always works, but being a young mom and trying to provide for my son, for my family, it was always a give or take, but I don't have to have that question anymore. It's always a yes, and it warms my heart to give him that. So that is definitely one of the biggest things that I could tell you about me and this company and what it's done for me. Other than after that, I definitely would have to, my family in general, my extended family after my son and my home here would be, I have a huge family. I am one of 8. I'm the youngest of 8, I should say. But there's many others of us, nieces and nephews and cousins. There are many. So our family always does Facebook events for invitations. That's how we find out about birthday parties and Christmas and holidays. That's where all the invitations go out. So I never got to mark going. It was very rare that I marked going because weekends and everything, it was always never a time where I had. It was never available. So I get to mark going on everything. It's funny because now there's times where I think about it and I'm like, we have something like this weekend alone. We had 4 things this weekend, and then we have more next weekend. As far as birthday parties, apparently my family all plan their birthdays around the same time. But it's amazing to say that I get to be a part of these now because I see my brothers and sisters and my dad and my mom and my aunts and uncles and cousins and everyone because I love my family. I'm a huge family person, and it killed me to never see them. They bring so much joy to my life and so much happiness, and we're silly and crazy. And again, if you know me, you've seen the pictures that we post on Facebook and the pictures that we share, and we always have a serious one and we have a silly one. And that's just because that's who we are naturally, is the silly side. We have to take a serious one. We try to, at least, and it doesn't always ever work out. But I can thank this company for allowing me to be part of my family again. And I don't even know if my family realizes it to the extent of what it means to me that I get to be there. Excuse me. So, like I said in the beginning, I was diagnosed with Crohn's disease, at a very young age. We'll just say it's a young age. I was in my 20s, and, our company does something amazing with fundraisers. And if you don't know, you should. It's amazing as retailers when we found a foundation that we want to work with and that we want to donate to. We do our portion, we do our sales, our events, and everything that we can for it. We raise the money that we can, and portions of our sales go to it. LuLaRoe matches that, and it's amazing that they do that. They don't have to, but they choose to. Out of the kindness of their hearts and the power in giving that they have, they do it. And it was amazing when the first time I found out about it, the first foundation, I sat there and I thought about it for a second, and the first one that I chose to give to, because I've done a couple since then, but the first one I chose to give to was the Crohn's and Colitis Foundation, because this is a condition that has touched myself personally, very much. There's days that I don't want to get out of bed, and there's days where I'm in pain. Pain is an everyday part of my life. So to give back to a foundation that has done so much research and help into helping people like myself and others out there that are struggling, to help find cures and medications and things that they can do for us. It was heartwarming to be able to host my first fundraiser, and donate to them, and for the company to just turn around and match it. It's wonderful. I did one last year for 2018. I'm sure if you're familiar with California, the wildfires, I am based here in California, so the wildfires, it was outrageous, the fires that we had, and when we were doing a little bit of traveling here in the state, just driving through the states and seeing everything that was happening, it was crazy. and the smoke and the air quality, and it killed me. It hurt my heart to think of all the families out there that were struggling, and there's so much in the world that I would love to help with, but I wanted to do something for the families affected and the firefighters as well, because they are someone that are also greatly affected. So we did a fundraiser this last year for that as well. And I've teamed up with many of our fellow teammates and things in the community of LuLaRoe as far as retailers, and done fundraisers as well. We've teamed up together and done things. But I love that, to say that our company does that for us, because it's not just on us to do it, to help, to power, to, push through to raise all this money. And it's amazing what we can do, but the fact that they back us and give that much more, it's absolutely wonderful. So I would like to thank LuLaRoe for that enough as well. So, I mean, other than those things alone, what I have else to thank this company for, I've always, like I said, in the restaurant business, I didn't have much time. I have my close community of friends, family, that, the people that I'd seen and I'd known from, growing up and such. But this company has given me my own community, and that would be my group, my VIP, my business page, my ladies, my everyday shoppers. But I shouldn't say everyday, my shoppers, my girls. I didn't understand the community and the close little knit family that would come out of this. Of course, I was a part of shopping groups, but I was, because it happened so quickly, because I fell so much in love with it and I went straight into it. I didn't get the chance to be a part of a group and, form friendships within them. So when I started my own, and because I've been in it for so long now, you can imagine, I have girls that have been in my group since I've launched. And I can name them off the top of my head. And they're not just shoppers to me. They are family. They are friends. They're not just acquaintances. We are friends on Facebook. I get to see their holidays with their families. I get to see pictures. We talk on a crazy level. We talk very much. I get to have them a part of my lives. And I tell ladies when they join into our group, I say, welcome, thank you for joining us. I hope and if they find me somewhere, I say, I hope you join our family, because we are. It's not just a shopping experience for me, because I've learned so much over time that they are someone that, yes, they are here to shop and to be a part of this wonderful comfort and clothes. But for a lot of these ladies, it is way more than that as well. And I've gained so much friendship, and I hope long-lasting friendships out of them, especially here locally. My local business is, it's grown extremely. When I first started out, I didn't think I was ever gonna, I didn't know how the in-home business parties would work, because that's what a lot of this was based on. But before I knew it, that was a huge majority of my business when I first started out. And because of that, it is long lasting. I have a local community of shoppers and ladies that I tell them, I work from home. It is my full-time business. My door is always open for shopping. You're always welcome in. And these ladies then know that they can text me and be like, hey, are you home, or are you available? And I might come on by. They have my personal cell phone number. They can reach out to me. So because of that, I have friendships that they mean so much to me. And I don't know if my ladies understand it as well. I don't know if they understand how much they mean to me, but they do. I have brought in communities together in my own neighborhoods. We are in a newer neighborhood. We moved last year, but before, when we had neighbors that we'd never even met before, we'd been next to them. We'd lived next door to them for a year. We would, when I hosted, I believe it was an open house or an event for something in home, ladies came into our home, like I said, I never met before, and I built friendships and relationships with them. And the same thing, ladies that had never met each other, that had been in the same areas before, that had never known each other. So that's wonderful to say that we can all connect over these clothes that we've all love. So we have something in common, and just to come together. It's wonderful. I'm horrible at words, so if I repeat the same ones over and over, forgive me. I need a thesaurus right here in front of me so I can, oh, my phone, sorry, focus. But that is a small little piece into my story and everything that I'm grateful for this company. They are wonderful. I have been a part of many trainings and gone to many events with the company themselves, and I've been with to luncheons with the owner and the founders of LuLaRoe. I've met the families. I've been a part of it for quite some time now, so I absolutely love what they stand for. They put their trust in me every day by being here and sticking with it. You know, they're here for us, and I put my faith and trust in them as well. And if it weren't for them, I wouldn't be here. I wouldn't be the person I am today, and I wouldn't be able to be the stay-at-home business mom that I am. And I'm forever grateful for this time that I get to have with my family. There's no words that I could put to say thank you enough. So I will leave it with that. I hope you enjoyed. Thank you for spending your time and listening to my review and my story into this. I always encourage, if you are watching this, if you have positive words or words in general, opinions, anything that you would like, please share with me. My door is always open. My ears are always open. My eyes for reading. I love to hear anybody's story. I have one. Everybody has a different story. A lot of ladies have similar stories to mine. And I would love to hear anybody's. I'm definitely a listening ear that wants to be a part of your life, and I'm always wanting more. I'm always welcoming more of your friendships into our home and our lives. So please don't hesitate to reach out if you have any questions or have any concerns or anything. You're more than welcome to message me. My information was with the YouTube or Facebook or wherever you find me. But again, I thank you, and I appreciate you for taking the time to listen, and that's it. So thank you, LuLaRoe, for everything you've given us, and that is all. Bye.